From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Heads Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, good morning, everyone. If you are in a rush, and I go into a lot of great detail in the forecast, and that's one thing I take pride in, and I think of what a lot of you like. But if you're in a rush, you're in a hurry, you don't have a whole lot of time to watch the forecast, but you want to know what to expect as you head out the door in the morning, check out Kruger's QuickCast. It's updated in the morning, and all you got to do is just go to weathernorcal.com, forecast video, same place where you get this on the website, as well as you can get it on the free Weather NorCal app as well. Check it out. Do it in about a minute or just a little bit more than that in some cases, depending on what's going on with the weather. Here's your picture of the day. This is out near Weed, taken courtesy of David Hoffman. You can see some of those lenticular clouds coming off of Mount Shasta. Just an absolutely gorgeous shot. Want you to share your photos. Beautiful clouds, beautiful sunset, sunrise, your kid doing something cool, your dog doing something cool. Just share those photos with your free Weather NorCal app from your iPhone or your Android. Just search for Weather NorCal in that app store and you're good to go. Hey, there is a frost advisory, a freeze warning until 8 o'clock this morning for Modoc County, northeastern portions of Siskiyou County as well. It's a cold start to the morning, especially in many of the higher elevations, but I do anticipate, of course, to be looking at a warming trend. In fact, the winds are getting weaker. This is good. However, there still is the red flag warning. In fact, early this morning, the National Weather Service decided to extend the red flag warning. It was supposed to expire at 8 o'clock this morning. Now it's going to expire at noon today because those winds kind of sticking around a little bit longer. The warming trend starts today with a slight chance for a few mountain showers here this afternoon. A closer look at Futurecast will show that that's probably not going to happen for a lot of us, if not any of us, and then mainly dry, really going through the rest of the weekend, not to mention into this upcoming weekend. So there's your neighborhood at a glance. Again, that slight chance for Siskiyou, Modoc, and the eastern mountains here. Otherwise, we are starting to see those temperatures begin to inch back up from what we've seen over the last few days. So again, that red flag warning until noon today, mainly because the winds are sticking around a little bit longer out there, taking around the noon hour today. Still those gusty north winds in the valley, but they should start showing signs of subsiding later on this afternoon. Let's take you into your Wednesday, and you can still see those winds kind of sticking around, a little breezy in some spots here, but overall the winds, just no major wind event. And that's because the storm systems riding to our north are staying a little bit farther to the north than we've seen, and that's going to keep those winds from really getting much stronger. Humidity, though. Humidity is going to be low still. And again, just kind of take that mental note that as we see more and more of these dry days, even now in the mountains, because we're starting to see less and less of that snow in the higher elevations, we're beginning to dry a lot of the fuels that we've had. So we're kind of on that track to starting to see drier and drier conditions and more fuels even for the higher elevations. So we go into your Wednesday, still looking at those single digits and teens, even for many of the higher elevations, and that'll probably even continue into your Thursday. So the fire weather risk accounting for temperature, wind, and humidity for today, you can see conditions are improving. We're barely within that moderate range here with some of those yellows, and still more of those yellows going into your Wednesday as well. Now this is just coming in from another forecast agency and the fire potential. The moderate is again just typically it's dry, and that's essentially the case. Yesterday there was orange due to winds, right? That's not the case here for today or tomorrow. As I mentioned, conditions will continue to improve over the next couple of days when we're talking about that fire weather risk. However, conditions are not improving when we're talking about temperatures, which we'll see here in a second. So you see this area of low pressure right here. This is what brought us the gusty winds over the last few days. It's moving out of the region, and as a result, our winds are relaxing and will eventually begin to relax. But overall, the trend is not calling for a major heat wave, even though it's going to kind of feel like it, because yes, we're getting back up to 105, 106, maybe even 107. But again, what we have to remind ourselves is when it does get that hot and we don't have strong support for a major heat wave, you can bet it would be a lot hotter if we did have that strong support. All right, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is what we call a trough of low pressure right here. Now, you can see the colors here. That's an indication where the tighter packed is. That's where you kind of have the jet stream. To the south of the jet stream is where you typically have the warmer air. To the north of it, the cooler air. All right, so what's happening is, yes, we've had that cooler air in place. Temperatures, though, are starting to increase. You see how the blues are starting to kind of creep northward, and we're seeing these oranges creep northward as well. This is the warmer air beginning to move in. But notice the trend. Notice we still have this trough of low pressure. Where's the main heat? This is the main bubble of heat to our west, and another main bubble of heat over the eastern United States. That's where the biggest heat is. That's not moving in, and we're not going to see either one of these really move in. And again, because we have these storm systems riding to our north. Now, it looks like most of these storms are going to stay a little bit farther to the north than we've seen over the last few weeks. So as a result, this heat over the desert southwest will expand into our region. Not entirely, but it will expand into our region, and it will give us those warmer temperatures. But bottom line, again, not a major heat wave. We're really within that near normal to just slightly above normal for this time of the year as we do look at that long range. All right, we're talking about the potential for some showers maybe in some of the higher elevations. What you'll notice here, we're beginning to see more clouds developing here to the north in Siskiyou, Modoc, and Lassen counties, and not to mention even the mountains of Shasta and eastern Shasta and eastern eastern Tehama County. But you see how we're seeing a few pop-ups here and there? So it's not out of the question for a stray sprinkle, maybe a light shower, maybe even an off chance for an isolated thunderstorm, but those chances are pretty slim. We just don't have a ton of moisture to really work with. And then we actually see some kind of clouds spread overhead, a lot of thin clouds Wednesday morning. Those will dissipate here pretty quickly. But also notice the coast. We're beginning to see more of that marine layer making its way back by tomorrow, and still some of those afternoon cumulus clouds for some of the higher elevations. Those clouds will probably stick around along the coast here as we go into Thursday morning as well, and not to mention probably even Thursday afternoon. Your wave heights, we're really not seeing a whole lot of change here for today. Still a bit of that small craft advisory until 9 o'clock this morning. We'll see if that gets extended into this afternoon, but that will most likely be allowed to expire. And then Wednesday, again, looks like those wave heights just dropping a little bit here. North winds at 10 to 15 knots, waves from the north at 6 feet at 7 seconds, and from the west at 2 feet at 11 seconds. Again, that small crush advisory, as I mentioned, will expire at 9 o'clock this morning. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures mainly in the 80s, although high in Palm. Mad River, temperatures there in the mid-70s. Take you out to central and southern Humboldt County as we take a look at your North Coast neighborhood forecast. So here's the coast 7-day. You can see temperatures mainly staying in the low, maybe some mid-60s in there, staying dry. Mostly cloudy skies. Some of that, again, those low clouds kind of coming back here by tomorrow. But for the inlet areas, temperatures kind of increasing, and then we'll see another dip in our temperatures by the weekend and going into early next week. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, there you can see Highway 96 corridor temperatures in the low 80s. I-5 corridor, upper 70s to low 80s there. 79 degrees for McLeod, 81 for Dunsmuir. We take you out to Modoc County. Again, maybe a stray shower here and there, but for the most part, it will be a dry day. You'll just see some of those afternoon clouds developing later on today. Temperatures in the low 70s, pretty much anywhere you go for most of us in Modoc County. Now, the eastern mountains, we do have temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Of course, the warmer spots like Paradise at 81, Shingletown 80, a bit cooler up the road there in Viola with a high of about 72 and 79 degrees in Bernie. Let's take you out to your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. We're getting back up to the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. That's about normal for this time of the year. Nothing unusual, but of course that's not going to last forever. Those temperatures are going to increase. When you look at that 7-day outlook for Redding, we're back up to around 100 degrees by Thursday, over 100 by Friday, Saturday. But again, we start to see those temperatures begin to dip a little bit by Sunday and Monday. And we can't forget, the first day of summer is this Thursday. It will be the summer solstice.
Let nothing stand between you and the tree stand with this great offer on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Featuring a gas-powered engine that delivers a top speed of 40 miles per hour, outstanding acceleration and handling with cargo, and a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get the Sidekick now for 0 down, 0% APR for 36 months or save $1,000.
Tractors, trailers, rentals.
You do it all, we do it local.